blizzards.
Oh yeah, the blizzards.
Bonnie Smith is with us. She's been with us several times before, and she's here to talk about the literacy project.
Yes.
And for people who have not seen you on the segment before, explain a little bit about what the project is all about.
It has a new name this year. It was formerly the Black Stallion Literacy Project, but we've changed the name to Horsetails Literacy Project this year. The program is exactly the same. It's based on the books by Walter Farley, The Black Stallion, Little Black a Pony, and Little Black Goes to the Circus. And there's first grade level and fourth grade. We do the program for 2 grade levels. And I'm in charge of Marion and Baxter counties. And we take the characters in the books to the schools. We take the live horses to the campus, and the kids come out and meet them and touch them, and then we give them their books. Each child gets a book to keep.
Now, who funds this project? Because it's not a state program.
No. This program is funded by the community. I write grants, and I get out and get donations.
Which is the biggest part of your job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spend all year raising money because we have about 335 first graders and about the same amount of fourth graders. And it's $10 per child, so I have to raise between $6,500 and around that much money every year just for the Mountain Home kids. And then I raise money for the Cotter kids and the Norfolk kids, Flippin, Yellville, and Lead Hill. Had to stop and think.
Yeah, and I'm sure that stretches you pretty thin on how much money you end up with.
Absolutely, and grants were very hard to come by this year.
Yeah, I bet they were.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people applying for grants for their programs, and so there's only so much money to go around. And that's why this year it's been very difficult, and so I've got to really push right now to get enough money to buy the books. It's a springtime program. We take the horses to the schools in March. And we have to get the books ordered within the next 2 weeks so that we can have the books here for the kids to get them next week.
So what can we and our viewers do to help?
Well, what I would like to see is a lot of the folks out in Mountain Home, we have such a generous community here, to sponsor a child. It's $10 per child, and that buys the books for the children and the curriculum for the teachers to teach the books in the classroom. These children get to keep the books. They get to take them and keep them there forever. And unfortunately, there are a lot of kids when we hand these books out at the schools that tell us, this is my first book of my own to have to keep. You don't think about there not being books in the home for kids today, but there are a lot of them that don't have it.
The positive thing about this program, I've heard about it before, is you make the two together. You have the actual real living horse and give them a book about a horse, and it makes them connect with and want to read.
Exactly. It gets the kids excited about reading. They'll want to read if they're excited about the subject matter, and when you take the characters in the book to the school for them to meet and touch, and then you hand them a book about, they've just met Little Black the Pony, they've gotten to touch him and meet him, and then they get a book. Their little faces are buried in the books before they even get back in the classroom. It makes it exciting for them, and these are little adventure stories based on the grade levels.
How did you get involved in this? Because obviously it's not a program, it's not something you work for. So this is just something that's come out of your heart.
Oh well, it's a program it's all over the country in about 12 states, and I raise Arabian horses. Nothing better to me than kids and horses, and I read these books when I was a kid. And so when I heard about the program, I read about it in one of my magazines, and I started talking up with some of my other horse friends, and it kind of took off statewide. And Arkansas has almost more kids than any other state enrolled in the program. Florida, I think, and Arizona are the only 2 states that have more kids enrolled in the program than we do in Arkansas, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Arkansas doesn't get too good a reputation for education sometimes.
We want all those kudos we can get.
Yeah.
So is there a number, or is there a local bank account somewhere where people could stop by somewhere?
Actually, the best thing to do is to make their check out to Horsetails Literacy Project and sponsor 1 or more children. Every penny, that $10 that they'll send me, every penny buys books. There's no overhead, there's no expenses. Every penny I raise goes to buy books for the children. And they can send it to me because they'll make it out to the program. But I send all of those checks in when I order the books. And so it has to come to me. If you send it to the foundation, the Horsetails Literacy Foundation, it might go to who knows what state.
Okay.
So it has to come here, and then I send the money in when I order the books.
Okay, and how will they get your address?
They can call me, 425-8403
Okay.
is my home phone number, and I'll give them the address, and they can mail me a check, and then I will get that money gathered and get those books ordered so the kids here in Baxter County.
And the deadline is in a week or so? would you
We
say?
got it. I need to have it by the 1st of March.
Okay.
I need to have the money, and there's a gentleman here, Larry Krause, who sent a letter to the editor last Saturday that all the money I can raise in the next 2 weeks, he's going to match dollar for dollar.
Good.
Oh,
good.
wow.
Yes, his wife is was a retired school teacher, and she passed away a couple of weeks ago, and he wants to do this in Shirley Krause's memory. And I think that's wonderful. So as a memorial to her, he's going to match every dollar I can raise in the next couple of weeks to buy books for the 1st graders and the 4th graders.
And every dollar will help, and it'd be nice if you could give a lot more. And the number was on the screen for Bonnie. If you'd like to give to that this great project, you can contact her directly. And here's some of the photos we wanted to show before we leave out. And this is some of the kids' interaction with the horse.
That's Little Black the Pony. And those are kids at the schools, and they're getting to touch and meet him, and their little faces light up like Christmas trees when they come out to see the horses and to touch them and meet them, and they're going to be getting their books. And there they are with their little faces in their books.
That's neat.
They're sitting out there and reading the book, and they've just been handed them. Yep.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here.
Yes, and if you'd like to know more about Bonnie and her program, there's more information at the end of the show. Get your pencil ready and write down the phone number and give her a call this week, if not sooner. Thanks, Bonnie.
Thank you for having me.
All right. All right, up next, who do we have?
We have Patty Underwood of the Elks Lodge in the Stop Bullying Now program.
Okay, stay with us.